Major League game today. He'll catch the pitches of Julio Tehran on the Atlanta Braves Toyota starting lineup. We'll see if Ender can continue his good work against Mark Leiter Jr., the son of Mark Leiter, the nephew of Al Leiter, two terrific Major League pitchers. And Leiter has had some good work pitching for Philadelphia this year as a starter and as a spot starter, mostly as a reliever, Joe. So we'll see how he fares in his first look at the Braves. He's a local kid who's getting a chance to pitch here in Philadelphia.
And he's a pitcher. He's not a thrower. His last work against Miami kind of proved that. You know, you get a team that's a great fastball hitting team like the Marlins, and he threw a one-hit shutout over 7 innings against them and beat them 8-0. Low 90s with a good split finger pitch and a curveball. He's 2-3 on the year with a 3.86 ERA, but his ERA is even lower as a starter at 3.18. There are his season numbers. He's also got some other things working. He's allowed only an average of 7 hits per 9 innings and held opponents to a .213 batting average, both of which are the 3rd lowest in the National League among rookies. So he's got a lot going for him, and he certainly has learned from his dad and his uncle about how to move the ball around, how to pitch, and not just throw. 26 years old, 6 feet, 195.
So Leiter will face Inciarte, Albies, and Freddie Freeman. Ozzie will hit second in game 2. And an interesting lineup for the Philadelphia club defensively. Look who's playing center field for them. It's Freddie Galvis, who started 10 games in left field for the Phillies in 2013.
I thought that was a misprint on the lineup.
Nope, he's playing center field in game 2. Florimon is going to play shortstop. Again, told you that Florimon is a terrific utility type player. This is an opportunity for Pete McCann to see just how versatile both of those players are. In fact, Galvis started all 131 games this year at shortstop. And we've talked a lot about the Phillies prospects. Perhaps this is going to open some doors for some of their younger players when they get to the big leagues when rosters expand.
Like J.P. Crawford, who's a shortstop. I can't imagine that anybody can play shortstop for the Phillies better than Freddie Galvis does at this point in time. But that's what September's for, is kind of find out about some people and move some people around and see how they do in different spots.
So we're about to find out, as are the Braves and the Phillies. So Ender Inciarte is going to lead off. What a first game. 5 hits, matching his career high. And he's ready to get things going. Love these quick turnarounds. A traditional doubleheader. And Leiter's first pitch is a base hit to left field for Ender. This is unbelievable. On the first pitch.
He's just looking at it as the 10th inning of game 1 is all he's doing. That's awesome. So reached all 6 times in the first game. The last at bat of game 1 on Monday. So 8 straight plate appearances he's been on base.
The record for most hits in a doubleheader is 9, by the way. So Ender's got a shot at that. That's his 6th hit today. So he's got 170 hits now. Let's see how Ozzie fares hitting second for the Braves. He's made a great impact hitting 7th in front of Dansby Swanson most of the time. Albies in game 1. 2 hits and 5 tries, scored 2 of the Atlanta 9 runs. Runner goes, good jump. Rupp's throw is going to be late. Ender steals another base too. Have yourself a day.
That would be number 19 for Ender, and another good throw by Rupp right on the bag, but late.
And Rupp got rid of the glasses that he was wearing under his mask. So an early chance for the Braves. Runner at second, nobody out. Wind blowing from left to right. Very comfortable day. And here it is. It's a bunt try that is going to roll foul.
Good thing Ozzie didn't run. Good thing it went foul. Braves jumped out in front first game. Everybody relaxed, kept adding on to those runs, so it would be super to get a run in here.
Swing and a miss. Ozzie can't move Inciarte to third base. He's down swinging. And Freddie Freeman's the Braves batter. 52 strikeouts for Leiter now in 58 2/3 innings. And he'll face Freddie Freeman, who hit a mammoth home run in the first inning of game 1. That snapped an 0 for 11 for the Braves first baseman. They've got another serious shift on for him. And down and in, ball 1. Hernandez playing in shallow right. Florimon trying to bird dog Inciarte up the middle at second base. One player on the left side of the infield, Michael Franco. If Freddie pokes a ball between Franco and the second base bag, he'll get a easy RBI. But they're going to try to crowd him, and they missed down and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
Leiter came back from rotator cuff surgery in the offseason before last year and came back, pitched in Double-A and went 6-3 for Reading and pitched real well. Good numbers in the minor leagues beginning this season, 27-22 with a 3 ERA.
Ender wandered too far off and just did get back. He was going to try to steal third base and looked like he slipped as he made his way back to the bag and then slammed into the second base bag hard, and he's yet to get up.
Might have spiked himself too going back into the base.
Freddie had a green light, didn't get it. 3-1. Freddie was on his way to first base, but Vic Carapazza called that a strike. Full count.
His fastball is a little better than the scouting report that had been given by some Phillies people. It's 92. He's been 92 this inning.
Fly ball center. Galvis broke in, now has to streak back, and he makes the play. Ender's going to tag, and he's going to head to third without a throw. And Freeman flies out for the second out. And the importance of Albies at bat apparent for the moment. That fly ball would have been deep enough had Ozzie been able to get Ender to third base. But no such luck. It's up to Matt Kemp, who's in left field for the nightcap. .15 homers, 51 RBIs for Matt, who sports a .293 average. Up and away. Since coming back from the disabled list with his second DL trip for the hamstring, Matt is 9 for 28. That's a .321 average. He's been a road warrior. 10 of his 15 homers have come away from SunTrust.
It's interesting. We hardly have seen a shift all year on Matt, and yet we saw it at home with the recently completed series against Colorado. They put 3 guys over on the left side, and now the Phillies do it. Again, there are no secrets anymore, and if the Phillies liked what the Rockies did and the way they pitched him, maybe they decided to try more of the same.
Another good fastball in a good spot. 2-2. Matt held up. And it's a full count. Smoke toward right. Pretty well hit. But that ball is off the base of the wall. It was over the head of Williams. And Matt Kemp on his way to second. The throw there is going to be late. And Atlanta strikes again in the first inning. It's 1-0 on a Kemp 2-out double.
I think what you will find, Chip, is that the Braves hitters are going to have to do a lot of that against Leiter. They're going to have to think more middle of the field, right center field if you're a right-handed hitter. And that was a hanging breaking ball. And then adjust to anything that he might try to pound you inside with. Good at bat by Kemp. And hopefully survive that. Looks like he did. Good start.
A leadoff hit, a 2-out hit brings up Nick Markakis. Nick doubled home a run early in the game today. Game 1, that is, for the Braves. And that's inside, even count.
You know what's great about this second game is that it started so quickly after the end of the first one. It's like we just showed up and said, hey, who's playing?
Right? Legion Day.
Let's go.
Did we ever hear officially what happened to Eichhoff?
The word was numbness in his fingers, in his pitching hand.
Ooh. Two balls and a strike. And Rupp is out for a visit. Anytime I hear that, I start thinking about that surgery that Fultonevich and Matt Harvey had.
Oh, yeah, right.
The rib. Take the rib out. What's that called? Anyway.
Ribectomy.
Ribectomy, yes. Not the McRib.
No.
Hopefully that's not the problem. Hopefully it's not something serious.
But Velasquez, he was dealing with something in his middle finger that was, you know, causing numbness too.
A strike after the chat, full count. Dansby Swanson hitting 6th, waits on deck. Braves have struck again in the first inning. Leiter with 3 straight full counts. And he just lost Markakis. So after the Phillies had a run through their bullpen in game 1, Leiter's laboring here early. And Dansby Swanson's our Zaxby's feature for game 2.
Great numbers. Almost a 400 average. Had a base hit and 2 walks in game 1. 1 for 3. Getting on base over half the time, that's a nice thing. Leiter only walked 2 in 7 innings in that performance against Miami.
Well, he's got to throw at least 25 pitches this inning to get out of the first. He's already surrendered a run.
Well, he's really up for a guy who relies on command and spotting that fastball. He's really been high with it. It's like he's overthrowing a little.
Bouncing ball hit towards second, and the tag will be applied to Nick Markakis, and that's the inning. Ender Inciarte leads off with another hit. Kemp drives him home, and it's 1-0 for Julio. Nothing in the first. Julio Tehran will go to work seeking his 9th win, a number that R.A. Dickey achieved in the opening game of the double dip.
You see, against the Phillies, recent work has not been good. His last 2, in fact, and one of them was August 8th, real ugly. 5 innings, 7 hits, and 5 runs. He did strike out 6, but before that, he pretty much owned these guys. So he'd like to certainly get back on track with that. His 4 keys today: number 1, establish that fastball, be aggressive, trust it, throw strikes, and second, get some payback because of the way they've treated him this year. 0-2 with a 12 ERA. Try to even things up a little bit.
Good way to do that is take care of these first 2 Phillies hitters, something R.A. Dickey did exceptionally well. In the 8 innings R.A. pitched, Hernandez and Galvis were combined 1 for 8. Those 2 men now have 39 hits against the Braves pitching staff this season. Hernandez's hit came in the 8th inning. And a strike evens it up. Braves were able to snap the Phillies' 10 consecutive games with a homer streak in Game 1. And early homers have been a problem for Julio. He's given up 5 of them in the first this year. He's fallen behind the first man he faces, 3 balls and a strike.
And he did not walk anyone in that great start against the Rockies. 7 1/3 innings.
So he sprays that one outside. It's a leadoff walk. Here's the Phillies starting lineup. Pete McCannon's their manager. The Phillies at 49 and 82 on the season. Galvis is playing center field, not shortstop. Williams, Hoskins, Franco, Rupp, Florimon, Young Soon Kim gets the start in left, and Mark Leiter pitches and bats ninth.
Never a good idea to walk the first guy you face, but we talked about this with respect to R.A. Dickey, the first batter, second batter. Well, these 2 guys are outstanding back-to-back, especially when Galvis is 11 for 27 off Julio.
So a challenge for Freitas, the rookie Braves catcher, debuting today. He's going to look into the dugout and get the signs, I'm sure, from the Braves coaching staff as he works with Julio today. No balls, 2 strikes. What a thrill for that young man. 0-2. Scorched to right. Markakis is there, makes the catch, and chases Hernandez back to first. 1 out. Nick Williams 1 for 4 in his career against Julio Tehran. He had an infield hit in the 8th inning. That was the last hit surrendered by R.A. Dickey. One thing Julio can do if he puts base runners on is pick them off. He's got 25. It's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner goes. Pitch fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The official word on Eichhoff's condition: nerve irritation in his pitching hand. Further evaluation will happen in the days ahead for him. Swing and a miss by Williams, and the medical term I was trying to come up with once the synapse is fired, it was the thoracic outlet syndrome that caused Mike Foltynewicz so much discomfort, and Matt Harvey too. Hopefully that's not what it will be for Eichhoff. That's a serious problem. One ball, 2 strikes, again to first, and again a close play.
That was a better fastball, but so far that's about the top for him. 92. It's a little off his feed there in terms of velocity.
Missed inside, ball 2. Told you a couple of days ago about Nick Williams from Galveston, Texas. His family's been through the ringer the last few years. Hurricane Ike and Hurricane Harvey. Put a number on his beautiful town. Hopefully everybody's all right. So Hernandez with a head start. He walked to start the game. 3-2 count. There he goes. And Williams smacks one to center, and Ender Inciarte drifts back. He'll have plenty of room. And he makes the catch. Lights have come on here in Philly, trying to minimize the shadows. And Tehran will face Rhys Hoskins for the first time.
Wind has shifted a little bit. First game, the flags were blowing in. I think that really helped R.A. Dickey, his knuckleball, but a little more typical now with him blowing out toward right center.
Hoskins had a hit and a run scored in the first game. And took one right there for a strike.
Established the fastball.
Two.
Likes the ball up, and he likes it out away from him. That one was certainly up.
When the Braves go to formulate their game plan on how to get these Phillies hitters out, I would imagine this would be the one hitter on the lineup card that Freitas would have a lot of input on. He was at Gwinnett all year, as was Hoskins until recently. That'll be something interesting for Kelsey to ask after the game. As a delayed opportunity for Hernandez, the throw tailed, and he steals second base with 2 outs. 14th steal for Cesar Hernandez, and he's in scoring position with 2 down.
Bounce, 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 go. Everybody that just thinks you're taking your lead and then you break, and everybody's late getting to what they're supposed to do. Well done.
Ground ball to short. And Dansby has it. The throw to first in time, and Julio's out of first inning trouble with a 1-0 lead. Peterson, David Freitas, and Julio Tehran are coming up.
Presented by Chevrolet.
Good start again for the Braves in Game 2 of the doubleheader. It's 1-0 with Jace Peterson sent to lead things off against Mark Leiter Jr. Can see why that fan's happy. Braves thumped him in Game 1. Nice for Jace to get a start. His starting opportunities have been few and far between, with Kemp returning from the DL, with Brandon Phillips playing so well at third base. So Jace gets a chance to start. He'll play the hot corner in Game 2. Jace, another major leaguer whose thoughts are not far from home. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana, which has been inundated with rain. And that one's hit a mile high to right. Long run Williams near the track. He'll get there. And he'll put it away for the first out. So here's David Freitas. What a dream for him. He's no kid. He's 28 years old. Been with a whole handful of organizations, but his family found out Tuesday night that he was getting the call to the big leagues, and they made the trip from California to be here for this moment in Philadelphia. And a line drive to right field's going to be caught by Williams. He robbed him of what would have been his first big league hit.
What a tough break.
But he put it in play, and he hit it hard in his big league debut. And a nice catch by Williams. Retires him for out number 2. Julio Tehran, the batter. And backs away from a strike. The interesting thing about Freitas is he's been traded for 2 guys that are on his team. He was traded once for Kurt Suzuki, and he was traded once for Jim Johnson. And as he said in Dave O'Brien's great story in the AJC today, and he's right, baseball is a small world. And he's here because Tyler Flowers has a wrist problem. They've signed him this November, and he hit .263 in 72 games with Gwinnett, so he would have been called up anyway in the next couple of days, even had Tyler Flowers not been hurt, as the 3rd major league catcher. He's the 4th man to harness up this year for Atlanta. Flowers, Suzuki, Anthony Recker, and now David Freitas.
Originally in the Washington system, 15th round pick in 2010.
Sharply hit to short. Florimon, nice play, scrambles, fires to first, and Julio's aboard with 2 outs. Every time the Braves hit the ball in an awkward spot against the Phillies shortstops, they make things a little too close for comfort. Julio, though, with an infield hit with 2 outs.
Fastball down the middle. Good swing by Hooley, who handles the bat real well. And almost another spectacular play by the Phillies.
Hoskins couldn't dig it out. Let's see if the Braves can make them pay. Ender has 6 hits in the double header. He scored the first run in Game 2. And had a good cut, fouled it away.
Got a shadow creeping across home plate. That's from one of the light standards. There's another one out behind third base, but they are the only shadows on the field at the moment. That will change soon.
Did you like doubleheaders in your day as a player?
Oh, I didn't love them, but I didn't mind them so much. I always preferred this versus trying to come back on an off day, a mutual off day. That was awful.
0-2 pitch. Yeah, you're here, you might as well play.
Exactly.
And then I guess the next worst would be the day-night split doubleheader.
Did not like those.
A ball and 2 strikes. Here it is. And Ender is retired for the first time by the Phillies today. Infield hit for Julio Tehran. All the Braves get in a second. Still 1-0.
The bottom of the second inning, and you've heard Tip mentioning it that David Freitas is making his MLB debut today. That's because earlier Tyler Flowers was placed on the 10-day DL. He had gotten hit with the foul tip Monday and he got put on the DL. They said that the CT scans had come back negative here, but they did send him back to Atlanta. They want to get those done again. Brian Snitker tells us there is no timetable on Flowers' return, which is really bad news because he has been playing so well for the Braves recently. And another roster move with the doubleheader today. Jason Hirsch has been added to the bullpen as the 26th man. He'll have to go back down to Gwinnett tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, Kelsey. With all due respect to Jason, hopefully he won't be needed because that means Julio Tehran will have had a good day. And we hope that's the case as he enjoys a 1-0 lead with Franco, Rupp, and Florimon coming up for the Phils. Braves bullpen was used but once. In game 1, R.A. Dickey, the third Brave to pitch 8 innings. And the first one is hammered towards center. Ender on a flat-out sprint. Won't get that. That's going to bounce off the warning track and over the fence for a ground rule double. That's the first Phillies hit. Michael Franco with his 25th double.
He's another guy that has had good luck against Julio. Got a fastball in the middle. Jumped on the first pitch. Now 8 for 23 against him. He needed confirmation.
And here's another guy that's had good luck against the Braves pitcher, Cameron Rupp.
Yeah, he's just hit 400 against Julio. 10 for 25 with a homer.
Fastball there. Rupp didn't get it. One ball, 2 strikes. Rupp's job is to get Franco to third base any way he can. Florimon, Kim, and Leiter lurking on the lineup card for Pete McCannon. And he took a shot that way and fouled it off.
The only run that Julio gave up early in the ball game in his last start against Colorado. He eventually gave up one in the 7th on a home run to Reynolds, but it was after a leadoff double that got an inning started. Trevor Story eventually came around to score.
Good at bat. Runner to third, 1 out.
Nice
Do
job.
so with 2 strikes, even more impressive for Rupp. And here's Florimon, who becomes the key man in the inning.
Franco does not run well. The infield's going to come in, and you don't have to rush. If you get a big bouncer, you still might have a play at the plate.
Nothing in 1.
You see so many hitters these days with their hands just crammed down to the bottom of the bat on the knob as tightly as they can. Florimon has a slight split grip between his top and bottom hand.
So what does that type of grip do for a hitter?
Typically it accentuates the top hand action a little more. Richie Zisk hit with a little bit of a split grip to do that. Good hitter. Good curve.
2-2.
See that very often. Foul ball hit off the umpire's shin guard or foot or whoever hit. And for him to go over and retrieve it and put it back in his bag.
Maybe they're running low because it's a doubleheader.
Maybe.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And pulled foul. Let's see if the ball girl can make the play. Nope. She's got to put the stool down. Not sure if that's Ashley or Brianna down there.
Who'd you say works every time the Braves lose?
I think it's Ashley. So I hope it's not her. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled back to the screen.
It's 93. That's his best fastball. Florimon has been impressive at the plate. He has swung the bat well. He had a triple last night, or excuse me, Monday night. He has squared up several pitches.
That's dumped toward left, and Matt Kemp's not going to get it. It's a blue pit for Florimon, who streaks into second base. And the Phillies cash in a couple of doubles to tie the game. Franco scores 1-1 in the second.
Breaking ball, he stayed with it. Good at bat by Florimon too to fight off a couple of pitches, foul him off, and then dump one in.
No swing. Popped up. And Freitas makes the play. That takes care of Kim. 2 outs, and Leiter's the pitcher, and he's the next hitter.
Freitas is no kid at 28 years old. He's the oldest guy to make his major league debut for the Braves since Hector Olivera. But he's already been tested. I mean, already a delayed steal, now a foul ball. Of course, his first at bat.
A base hit to right. Here comes Florimon around third. They'll put up the stop sign. Leiter with a hit. And this has become a recurring problem for the Braves pitching staff. That's the 40th hit allowed by opposing pitchers this year by the Braves staff. That's more than any other team in the big leagues.
Step left, hit it to right. Pretty good system there for Mark Leiter. Unfortunately, Nick Markakis was playing shallow and on that quickly to keep Florimon from scoring.
Even though that hit comes with 2 outs, you now have to deal with Cesar Hernandez, who walked his first time, and he's got 20 hits against the Braves this year.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part of this. You get the foul out by Kim, you think, okay, just get the pitcher and go to the dugout. And that didn't happen.
One ball, 1 strike. Game tied, 1 apiece, second inning of game 2. Wind blowing from left to right. That favors the left-hand hitters here at the Bank Vault. There's a good result, 2-2.
And that wind has picked up.
Tough customers, Freddie Galvis. He has gone to a full count twice in the game. Leiter with a big lead at first is going. And the pitch popped up. Long run, Jace Peterson over by the Braves dugout. And it hits off the second step. Again, Leiter will be moving with the pitch. There he goes. The delivery is cut on and missed. And that strikes out Cesar Hernandez. Big out for Julio Tehran. The Phillies get one, leave two, and heading to the third. We got a 1-1 score. For live Braves baseball, stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. We'll start the third inning a little late because Mark Leiter was running bases. He'll take his warm-up tosses, and here in the third face Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Kemp. And you see Ozzie Albies, our Georgia lottery feature.
See if he can get something started. Like having two leadoff guys up there at the top of the order now with good speed. Leiter had to run a couple of wind sprints. Hopefully it took a little out of it.
There you go.
Born in spring training, so he's really a baseball baby. Born in March down in Fort Lauderdale, lives now in Lenoka Harbor, New Jersey. When the Leiter family got together, it was all baseball talk.
I wonder if his dad and his uncle had to fight over which arm he threw with.
Good question.
Turned out all right for the young man. He's in the big leagues with a 2-3 record, a sub-4 ERA. Trying to throw his hat in the ring for a Phillies rotation that has some openings, it appears. Today he's making his 6th start. And he's got a 1-1 game. Ozzie Albies leads off. He struck out his first time. And didn't get that one. It's quickly 0-2.
He's getting a lot of off-speed pitches left-handed because of that leg kick. And to slow it down, if your leg is in the air or you're not getting it down in time, tendency is that your hands are going to go forward. Not have anything in reserve.
Three pitches. Albies down on strikes for the second time. And that's 3 strikeouts for Leiter. 1 away for Freddie Freeman, who flied out. It's in and out of the glove of Cameron Rupp. Freeman entered today's action with 3 homers and 3 RBIs against the Phillies. A first inning 2-run homer gave him 4 home runs against the Phillies. And when he hits them here, they go a long, long way. No balls, 2 strikes. Biggest part of this park is right behind where Freddie Galvis is playing, and slightly left of center field, 409 feet. It's 401 to straightaway center, 398 in front of the Phillies pen. And that's where Freddie hit his first home run in the big leagues off Roy Halladay, past that 398 sign into the corner of the Phillies bullpen. Never got the official tail of the tape on Freeman's first inning homer in game 1.
It's a long one.
You hit it to the second deck here. You are in high cotton. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here it is. The first career homer against Halladay.
Cut across the grandstand too.
And this is his home run from game 1.
Well, there's a loud echo and there's not many people in the stands, huh?
It's kind of like when you thump me on the head. It sounds a lot like that.
There's a lot, yeah.
388 feet. And now Freddie smokes one towards center. Galvis got a good jump. And he's played the outfield before, but he's got center pasture today, and he made that play look easy. 2 outs. And Matt Kemp, the batter. .52 RBIs for Matt now. A 2-out double over the outstretched glove of Williams in right field. First final is in the American League. Cleveland beat the Yankees today 2-1 in New York. Jaime Garcia started that game for the Yankees, as Rebecca told us. Got no run support today.
Yeah, he only gave up 1 earned run. Aaron Judge did not start.
He's not been the same guy the last month or so. A lot of strikeouts for Judge. As Kemp fought that one off and beat the shift. Look at where that ball landed. About 3 feet past the grass. That's awesome.
That's just like the one that Matt Adams had in the first inning when they were playing with everybody out deep. That is wonderful. Go ball. Get out of here.
I mean,
it did. Out of the infield.
You know, the old, that sounded like it was hit with a wet sporting news.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just that splat sound. But perfectly placed for a 2-for-2 day. Off the screen foul. The Cardinals are trying to come back in Milwaukee. The Brewers lead St. Louis 6-5 in the 8th at Miller Park. Detroit maintains a 2-0 lead over the Rockies in the 4th inning at Coors Field. Slugfest in Baltimore. I'll tell you about that in a second. The pitch. Seattle 6, Baltimore 5 in the 4th at Camden Yards.
Baltimore's playing well and pitching well. They shut out the Mariners last night. They've had a good 5 or 6 days after playing Kansas City.
And you know what? That's what can happen in that American League wild card race. Baltimore's only a game and a half out of the second wild card. Kansas City did score a run. By the way, they broke their streak at 48 1/3, I think it was. They were dancing in the aisles at Oklahoma Joe's barbecue.
Picked up a W against Tampa Bay.
That's grounded to second. Nice backhand stab, and the throw to first right on the money. And that sends us to the bottom of the third inning. Galvis, Williams, and Hoskins coming up in a tie game. DC Saturdays on South, presented by Ford, kicks off a brand new year as Mark Rick's number 18 Miami Hurricanes battle Bethune-Cookman Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on Fox Sports Southeast and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The ACC is going to be loaded again this year.
I hope Bethune-Cookman's getting a big payday.
Pretty good chance as Freddie Galvis leads off. He lined to right in the Phillies' first inning against Julio. How about that foul ball?
Talk about right in your lap.
That's out of play. How'd that thing get through the screen?
I think there's a little opening over there right in front of that guy.
Oh, okay.
Where they can pass like a drive-through, just kind of pass the burgers through to you.
Think they got any cherry limeades down there?
I'll let you know. I'll be right back.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Heated him up upstairs, and Galvis disposed of quickly. Julio's got his second strikeout in a row and a first out in the third.
Wasn't his best fastball. He just went upstairs with it and got him to chase.
Williams flying out to center. He's also taken away a hit in the outfield. want to face Hoskins, you want to face him with the bases empty if possible. But Julio's got some work to do here if that's to happen. 3-0 count. Got the call.
Best fastball. Cut it loose at 94 there. Keep talking about how he needs to establish it early.
Strike 3 called. Williams couldn't pull the trigger.
Late call too.
And from a 3-0 count, Julio does rally to take care of Williams for the second out.
Helped a little bit, but Julio caught a break there. A lot of baseballs out too.
Hoskins 0 for 1. The pitch from Tehran, trying to push him off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Right there, a strike. Hoskins with the most home runs in big league history in his first 18 games. At the time of this series beginning, he has 12 games to play with to get to 12 homers and be the fastest to 12.
Wow.
So I think it's safe to say you like his chances the way he's been swinging the bat. Into today's action, as many extra base hits as strikeouts, and he's riding an 11 game hitting streak. Didn't get it. The way he's swinging the bat and the way Giancarlo Stanton is swinging the bat, that'll be a very entertaining series down in Miami, which starts at Marlins Park between those two clubs next.
Holds his hands way back and up high above his shoulder. Head doesn't move much. He got a little bit of a leg kick. And he is really quick through the zone. Bat stays in the zone a long time. Out of Sacramento State.
Rifled to right field, and Markakis will play that on a couple of hops. So Hoskins continues his hit streak. That's 12 in a row for him.
As he has said, if I get 2 strikes on me, I don't mind hitting the ball to right or right center. He got this one up and away and hit it hard that way.
I would imagine that's an approach that they wish the man in the batter's box would take a little more often.
100%.
Although Franco does have a double and has scored a run. Franco just turned 25 years old. With the Dominican, last year led the Phillies in RBIs, slugging percentage, was tied for the team lead in homers and extra base hits. He hit .255. This year he's hitting .225, and it's been speculated that his home ballpark may be in his head and not in a good way. big time home road splits for Michael Franco. He's got a 2-1 count.
This may be a poor comparison, but I remember being told when I first went to play for Seattle that the Kingdome could get in your head, especially left-handed hitters. It was kind of a short porch to right field, and hitters would become too pull happy. And I saw evidence of that time and again. And this ballpark, certainly a good hitter's park, and especially down the lines if you want to pull the ball, and that's what he continues to try to do.
Straw came out of the inside corner. Julio crossed him up, and he just struck out the side in the 3rd inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. 4th inning coming up. Good game, 1-1. So far this series is even at a game apiece. And the Braves head-to-head with the Phillies is today's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
Yeah, that is cold and hard here at Citizens Bank Park, but the good news is the Braves are on a 1-game winning streak here after winning the first game of the doubleheader, 9-1. Take that. Starters ERA, huge part of that. Phillies, out of those 8 wins, 5-0 in 1-run games.
Wasn't it great walking into the Phillies TV and radio booth, chest all puffed out, saying, "How do you like them apples, boys?"
Yeah, it was, but they had real sharp needles.
Oh,
that popped that balloon real quick when they went 8-1.
Dansby Swanson, Jace Peterson, and David Freitas coming up against Mark Leiter Jr. Gave up a 1st inning run. Since then, he's pitched a little better. And Dansby shoots one into left field. That is going to get down for a hit. So Dansby Swanson aboard to start the 4th inning. He was aboard 3 times in the first game, including a hit. He got another one here in the 4th.
Boy, we've seen a lot of these hits today. That's a 2-seamer running back in on his hands. I don't think it broke his bat, but he dumped it out there, and both teams have had a few of those today.
Let's see what Jace Peterson can do.
Yeah, I'm happy for Jace to get up.
That ball got away. Dansby's on his way to second, and he'll slide in safely by the time Hoskins picked up the baseballs. There's a break. Now if Jace can hit the ball to the right side, the Braves will have a runner at 3rd base.
It's got to be an E3. Might have looked down too soon.
Fly ball left, pretty well hit. Kim going back into the shadows onto the track. He's going to make the catch. Dansby's going to tag. He's going to try. He's going to slide in ahead of the throw. So an unconventional way to get the runner to third base, but the ball hit deep enough to get Dansby to third with one out.
Yeah, two deep fly balls by Jace, but this was really good base running on Dansby's part to kind of pick up his teammate here who wasn't able to pull the ball. Dansby at first was about halfway, then he hustled back to tag up. And just beat the tag. Well done by Swanson.
So Freitas is up there with a pitcher behind him, a runner at third, infield in. And he strokes one toward the gap for his first big league hit. It's going to score a run. Freitas around first, on his way to second. Nobody covers the bag. And Freitas, with an unbelievable moment, has an RBI double to put the Braves in front.
How great is that? Robbed of a hit his first time up, and a ringing double here for his first hit. Tell you what, he is a big, strong guy. 6'2", 240 out of Wilton, California. You play as long as he has, and you play in the minor leagues as long as he has. What a thrill.
So he's given Julio the lead, and the Braves pitcher will send him to third base with a ground ball to second. One thing we have seen from David, he doesn't waste any time. The old Ted Williams philosophy, get a good pitch and knock the you-know-what out of it. Well, he swung at 2 pitches as a major league hitter, and he's 1 for 2 with an RBI.
Just great stuff.
So Swanson to first on the single, took second on the E3, tagged up on the fly ball to left, scored on the Freitas RBI double, and now the Braves catcher 90 feet away for Ender, who pushes one foul to the left side. And it's been a great day for Ender Inciarte. He has picked up 6 hits in today's doubleheader. The record for hits in a DH is 9.
Struck out his last time up. He probably went back to the dugout and was getting ripped by his teammates about how awful he is.
That's taken low. 2 balls and a strike. So Ender with 170 hits now for the season. And a shot into center field is going to put the Braves up 2 more runs. It's a 3-1 game. Inciarte with his 7th hit of the doubleheader.
Albies with a quick high five for David, and the whole team off their feet, or on their feet rather, to congratulate him. Good for you, sir.
What a day for Ender. 7 hits now.
Oh yeah.
He's also stolen a couple of bases. Let's see if he tries to swipe another one. 3-1 Braves in game 2. And fouled away by Albies, who has struck out swinging twice.
5 ribbies. Not bad. Freitas, when he gets robbed of that hit in his first at bat by Williams, he might have been thinking, Man, is that how it goes here? Because when he hit the ball to left center, he's probably worried about Galvis doing the same thing to him.
No balls and a strike. Braves have struck for 2 runs here in the 4th. Runner goes. The pitch is strike. The throw to second is in time this time. And Ender out on a bang play at second. The Braves might take a peek at this one.
Yeah, I didn't think he was either. Eddie Perez was even signaling right away from first base. Good pitch to throw on for Rupp.
So we'll take a look at our replay while the Braves decide whether to challenge the call at second.
Around the knee. Yeah, I think that's worth looking at. Say this for Rupp, though, he keeps his throws low, where it's so much easier for the infielders to just catch and make the swipe tag.
So the Braves will challenge the out call at second base. If the call is confirmed, the inning will be over. If the call is overturned, these will have an 0-2 count.
Watching the close-up replay on the big screen here, it was apparent that he beat it.
Whether that's enough evidence or not to change the call remains to be seen. Another angle, another look.
I'm looking at his knee. The knee bends because the foot hits the bag, and the knee is already bending before he gets the tag on him. The knee is bending into the glove, which would indicate the foot was already on the bag. And he is baloney. Baloney.
I'm guessing there wasn't enough evidence to change the call, so officially Inciarte is thrown out trying to steal. The Braves, though, get a couple of runs on 3 hits and take another lead. or by texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing that, you can make a $10 donation. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help those recover from the horrible disaster. And Joe, we understand the Braves are pitching in.
Yes, they are. During the next 7 home games, beginning Monday, September 4th, the Braves are going to donate the Braves Foundation share of each night's 50-50 raffle and $25,000 donation to the American Red Cross and Hurricane Harvey relief efforts. Players are also going to be at the gates collecting monetary donations on Monday, September 4th. And there's also going to be an Atlanta Peach Movers truck, the guys that handle all the transfers for the Braves luggage and equipment to and from the airport. There's going to be a truck located in the surface parking lot across from the third base gate for donation drop-offs beginning Monday at 3 o'clock.
So a great time to do some late summer cleaning and help those in need with anything you can spare, I would imagine. No balls, 2 strikes. That just missed as Julio works with a lead now here in the 4th inning.
Some of the items that they're in desperate need for are diapers, baby wipes, lip balm, combs, brushes, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, first aid items.
So that's this Monday, right?
That's Monday at 3. The truck will be there Monday at 3 o'clock before the game on Labor Day.
And that Labor Day game will be against the Texas Rangers. We're in town for 3. Then the Marlins come a-calling. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cameron Rupp. And 2-2. Speaking of Texas and Houston, they're playing again tonight at Tropicana Field in St. Pete. As Julio gets Rupp to swing and miss, that's his 5th strikeout. In fact, Julio's last 5 outs have come thanks to the strikeout ball, 1 away.
Settling in, getting in a nice groove here.
I believe the Astros and Rangers are off tomorrow. And then we got to figure out where the Astros are going to play, if they can play at Minute Maid Park.
I think they're supposed to play the Mets coming up over the weekend at home. What I don't understand is why Texas and Houston didn't just flip-flop a homestand. Was Dallas, was Arlington getting some rain too?
I think that was part of it. And I think there were some scheduling issues that the Rangers were concerned about as far as changing the series and length of road trips and homestands and all of that.
I forget about how that can be affected.
And I was off on my scheduling because of the storm. First the pitch. Gretchen tells me that the Rangers and Astros play again tomorrow. Gretchen, what was the rest of that? I think she's working on her album.
Well, don't stop believing.
They play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then the Astros will have an off day Friday.
That's odd.
Then play a doubleheader against the Mets at Minute Maid Park on Saturday is the plan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, in one way, I'm sure for the Astros players and staff, they can't wait to get back home and play in front of their fans. On the other hand, I'm sure the Astros in Major League Baseball and the Mets for that matter will be incredibly sensitive to as Florimon strikes out. That's 6 for Julio. You harken back to the words of Bart Giamatti, the former baseball commissioner, who during the earthquake series said, "We are not going to let this tragedy get in the way of our little game." And so I'm sure that will be the challenge for all parties concerned. Get hopefully it will also give the fans in that region a bit of a diversion from what has been a 1,000-year freak of nature that has affected not just Houston but Louisiana and the entire Gulf Coast. 1-0 pitch to Kim, who's pushed off the plate. Ball 2.
6 straight outs by strikeout for Julio. Only a base hit by Hoskins has interrupted that string.
Sharply hit, and Dansby played it to the side. Scoops and fires. Pretty play. And Julio's through the 4th inning with a 3-1 lead. Albies, Freeman, and Kemp coming up. Downtown, just a few blocks from our team hotel. Part of the beautiful downtown complex.
That's where the Rocky statue used to be, but they moved it, didn't they?
I think so. I don't know where or why.
Did they move it over here to the Wells Fargo Center? Oh, just to the side. Okay, and down below there.
Wait a minute, they moved it from the center of the stairs?
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of people that couldn't run that far.
Oh. Didn't think of that. Is there a ramp on that side of the stairs or something? Make it easier for people to get the statue?
The lower right-hand side of that, what looks like a stage in front of it. Pretty place.
My former life with the Cubs, this was a town we'd only come to once a year and never really got to appreciate Philadelphia nearly as much as we do now. Very passionate fans here, love this ballpark, and certainly the great matchups and battles that the Braves and Phillies had in years past made it always a treat to come here and face off with Utley and Halladay and Hamels and company. And it's hope for both of these franchises that those happy rivalry days are not too far down the road.
Well, it's such a more enjoyable place to come to versus the old Vet. Not that there was a bad stadium. My gosh, it was cavernous, but it seated almost 60,000 people. And of course was used for football as well. But this is just a treat for the Philly fans.
Popped out a play foul. We've got the beautiful view of downtown Philadelphia from our broadcast perch.
Yeah, they did that right.
Yeah. And this may be the best press box in the big leagues. Two balls, two strikes. And Ozzie bounces one toward first. Tricky hop, but Hoskins stayed with it, made the play, and there's the first out in the top of the 5th inning.
Another off-speed pitch or breaking ball that he rolled over the top of. Got to be a little bit more patient left-handed because of all that off-speed stuff they're feeding Ozzie.
Freddie's flat out to center twice. Phillies have a shift on for him again. And he hits one high in the air toward left. Kim says he's got it. He does. And there's the second out. Ender Inciarte has 2 hits. Matt Kemp has 2 hits. So that's 4 of the Braves' 7 here in game 2. We're off to Chicago to play the Cubs tomorrow night. Be our first chance to see all the changes they've made at Wrigley Field. The bricks are still there, the ivy is still there, but the bullpens aren't. That'll be a different look. Cubs are home tonight playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. And out of play foul. Quickly 2 strikes for Matt Kemp. Cubs won behind Jake Arrieta yesterday, beating Pittsburgh 4-1. Arrieta is pitching great since the All-Star break. We'll run into him on Sunday.
Now, ever since somebody said they thought he might be done, that he was so good a couple of years ago that he'll never be able to bounce back from that, I think he took that to heart. And he will be a free agent.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He's already said he will not entertain a 1-year qualifying offer from the Cubs. So he's looking for a long-term multi-year deal, which is certainly his right. He's 14-8.
How awful.
Right. 2-2 pitch. Kemp fouled it back. Don't know who's pitching for Chicago on Saturday. Might be John Lester, might not. Lucas Sims has the ball for Atlanta. Mike Fultonevich and John Lackey on Friday afternoon. Newcomb and Hendricks again tomorrow night. Swing and a miss. And Leiter has a 1-2-3 inning, his first of the game. Halfway through game 2, Atlanta leads at 3-1. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Mentioned the Cubs are coming up. A 4-game series against the defending world champions, this time at Wrigley Field.
And check out the runs per game since the All-Star break. Just under 6 runs per game. Good ERA. And their offensive ranks have really climbed through the National League with their offensive heroics, Anthony Rizzo included. And they've been playing for quite a while without Addison Russell.
So we'll join you from the north side of Chicago tomorrow night. Still work to be done in Philadelphia today. Leiter, Hernandez, and Galvis are coming up. And a ground ball hit to second. And the peg to first in time. 1 pitch and 1 out. That'll help Julio, who's retired 5 in a row now. And Cesar Hernandez, 0 for 1 with a walk, is the next hitter. Cleveland's got 2 in the first in game 2 of their doubleheader against the Yankees. They won the first one 2-1. They're up 2-0 in the Bronx already in game 2. And they just scored 2 more. That's Tomlin and Sabathia. At New Yankee Stadium. And up and away for Hernandez. 2 balls and a strike. Freitas and Tehran seem to be working well behind the plate and on the mound.
Yeah.
And out of play. Evens it up. The Dodgers are in Arizona later on tonight. Dodgers have an 18-game lead over Arizona, who have won 5 in a row. Clayton Kershaw is supposedly going to be back this weekend for Los Angeles. In the air, right center, Ender on the run. He'll have lots of room. He's got it. 2 out.
Dodgers have actually skipped a beat in the absence of Cody Bellinger. They have not been the same ball club. I don't think they're panicking.
They better not. They're only 91 and 39, so
Alex Wood's been out too.
Yeah. Galvis is lined out and struck out. And he swings early in the count. That'll help. Dansby goes out. Kemp greets him. It'll be Dansby Swanson in a very easy inning.
Very easy. That's great.
3 up, 3 down on 7 pitches for Julio. We go to the 6th. They're now 3 back of Chicago in the Central. Cubs hosting Pittsburgh, as we said, in just a couple of hours. So we go to the 6th. Atlanta 3, Phillies 1. Nick Markakis, Dansby Swanson, and Jace Peterson, the first 3 coming up. As you said about Leiter, he pitches. How would you evaluate how he has pitched so far through his first 5 innings against the Braves?
I think as expected, not overpowering, has to hit spots, and when he misses, it gets hit hard.
Like that. And Kim on the run, won't get it. That's up against the Xfinity sign. And Nick Markakis has another double. So he's 1 for 2 on the day. And a good start for the Braves, looking to pad a 3-1 lead.
Carbon copy of the double he hit in the first game. Left center. Mistake on the breaking ball, and it got hit hard. Nick did a good job there. He got fooled a little bit on the breaking ball, but he had his hands back.
Dansby Swanson's 1 for 2. He singled, took second on a pickoff error at first base, third on a fly ball, and then scored on David Freitas' first major league hit. Even count. Good game in Washington today. Marlins nothing, Nationals nothing. Conley and Strasburg. Strasburg looking for his 11th win.
5th inning.
Dansby didn't get that. It's 1-2.
That was a nice back-to-back setup there by Leiter. He threw a fastball at the knees that Dansby took and was mad at himself for taking. And then he came back with a changeup in roughly the same place but lower, obviously lower, and got him to go after it.
A ball and 2 strikes. And Dansby chased that one. And he'll be tagged out. That's the first out of the inning. So an unproductive at bat for the Braves shortstop.
That's happened to the Braves several times already in this series and in recent memory. Unable to get that ground ball to the right side. Now Jace hit a fly ball to deep left that accomplished that fact, but as you said, very unconventional.
So 5 strikeouts for Leiter. And Peterson gets the ground ball, but it's 1 batter too late. Run to third, 2 outs. And Freitas is coming up. He's stung the ball twice. Got the pitcher behind him. We'll see how the Phillies play it. He's seen 2 pitches as a big league hitter, and he's hit 1 of them for a double.
And robbed of a hit on the other one. We think that's some of their family, of his family, correct?
They were told they were going to make the trek for California. So
it looks like his brother.
Freitas originally drafted, as you said, by the Nationals. Signed by the Braves in November. Threw out 30% of would-be base stealers. He hasn't been challenged today.
Not conventionally.
Right, yeah, good point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hope the Braves get good news on Tyler Flowers, who you heard Kelsey report is on his way back to Atlanta, just to make sure that the left wrist problem is only a contusion and not something else. Tyler was placed on the DL and is on his way back home. And a swing and a miss will retire the side. Hope that run doesn't come back to haunt Atlanta. They leave Markakis stranded after a leadoff double. Home 6th coming up. Look at today's Chevrolet game summary.
In game 2, Julio Tehran has given up only 1 run, and he's been on a real strikeout roll the last couple of innings. Inciarte has had a whale of a day. So far, 5 hits in game 1, 2 in game 2. What a day for him. He's driven in 5 runs total. Matt Kemp did not play in game 1, but he's already contributed here in game 2 against Mark Leiter and the Phillies.
The other side of the coin is Julio Tehran has backed up good pitching performances for the Braves. Coming off a 5-hit, 2-run performance against the Rockies. So far, Julio's allowed 1 run, 4 hits through 5 innings, and he's set down 7 straight and has added 6 strikeouts for good measure. So like what Julio's doing so far as he tries, like R.A. Dickey, to earn his 9th win this year. He's got the 3, 4, 5 hitters up for the Phillies: Williams, Hoskins, and Franco. And the first pitch is hit a mile high toward right. Markakis to the track will track it down. Phillies are doing a lot of early count swinging here. And Julio will happily oblige. Hoskins 1 for 2.
Great work by the pitchers today. R.A. Dickey, 1 inning out of A.J. Minter, and now Julio only giving up 2 runs.
Two balls and a strike.
8 great innings from RA today in game 1.
At the knees with plenty of movement. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to keep it down on him.
To third, and Jace scoops and fires. Nice play. 9 up, 9 down for Julio. 2 outs in the 6th.
Starting to say earlier, I was happy to see Jace get a start today. Needs some at-bats. Even his pinch hit appearances have been scattered lately.
Good pitch.
Love that first pitch. Get over curveball.
No balls and a strike. Little tapper. That is Freitas' ball, and he makes the play. And that is the inning for Philadelphia. 3 up and 3 men down.
I like the way he boxed out Hooley. Get out of here.
Hooley's not going to run him over. We go to the 7th. Game concert at SunTrust Park Saturday, September 23rd, when the Phillies come to town. And if you want to enjoy the concert up close and personal, all it costs you is $20 for a field pass. Braves.com/fits and the tantrums, the place to go for all the info. First pitch swing by Julio. He puts it in play, and for him on at short takes care of that. 1 out.
Julio's had some good swings today.
So he's 1 for 3 at the plate. 1 pitch, 1 out. Seen a lot of first pitch swings by both these clubs in the last couple of innings. As Ender Inciarte now coming up, looking for his 8th hit in this doubleheader. He had 5 hits in game 1. He's 2 for 3 today. He's knocked in 5 runs. He scored 2. And he should have 3 stolen bases, but replay robbed him back in the 4th.
say this for Leiter. When he's missed, boy, has he missed today. High, low, outside. I have to think that that's his split finger pitch. It just gets away from him a little bit.
That's Hobie Milner. We've seen him a time or two, and he's tough on lefties. Sharply hit. That's number 8. 5 hits in game 1, 3 hits in game 2.
Awesome. I don't know what happened in the 4th inning. He struck out. The 2nd inning, he struck out. A lot of people wanted him to quit the game, but he hung in there. He's collected 2 hits since then. What a day. And 1 hit away from the all-time record. Is that right?
We were told 9 hits in a doubleheader is the record.
Bob McClure buying some time for Milner.
Albies is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Inciarte 9 for his last 10.
That's pretty good.
Plus a walk.
Missed the edge, ball 2. And that's fouled off Cameron Rupp. 2 balls and a strike. Most hits in a doubleheader is 9. By my count, the most recent man to do it was Lee Thomas, who did it in 1961 with Los Angeles. Ender's got a shot if the Braves can turn the lineup around one more time for him. Fred Carroll in the 1880s did it for the Pirates. George Case for Washington in 1940. Ray Morhart with Chicago in 1926. Pete Runnels with the 1960 Red Sox.
He also won a batting title that year.
Joe Kelly with Baltimore in the 1800s. That one's hit towards center. And Galvis has plenty of room. He'll reach up and make the play. Freddie Lindstrom in the National League with the New York Giants in 1928. Wilbert Robinson with Baltimore in 1892. And Bill Terry with New York in 1929. I mean, we're talking a long time since anybody is on the cusp of doing what Ender Inciarte is trying to do today. So Pete McCannon's on his way out. It's going to be Hobie Milner versus Freddie Freeman with a man aboard. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Atlanta leading 3-1. Leiter didn't do so bad today. Gave up a couple of runs in the 4th, and that's the difference in the game. We'll see how Freeman and Milner work things out before the stretch in a moment. bat 9th on the lineup card. This is Hobie Milner, who has seen Freddie Freeman quite a bit and has given the Braves first baseman a whole lot of problems.
Absolutely. Freddie's 0 for 5 against him with 2 strikeouts. It's almost like he's Freddie's designated reliever anytime the Braves play the Phillies. Side armor and gets Freddie to offer it, pitches away.
Had a good rip at that one and fouled it back. $15,706. The attendance for today's doubleheader. No balls, 1 strike. Instead to first, and that almost picked off Hoskins. And Freeman just got plunked. That's not what Pete McCannon had in mind. So instead of retiring Freeman, he hits him with a pitch. Inciarte will move to second base, and Matt Kemp will come on.
Well, it was a high target, and you know that if he wants to get that outside corner, he's going to have to come in and keep Freddie honest, but he nailed him right in the rib cage. That's got to hurt.
First pitch swing, ground ball to short. Foreman flips to second. That's the inning. And the Braves are done in the 7th inning. 2 left at the stretch. 2-run lead at the stretch for the Braves.
Philadelphia. We told you about the cheesesteak eating competition in the visiting clubhouse and how the Braves are back-to-back champs going for a 4-peat. And with a month left in the season, they're still in line for that. As of yesterday, they led the league with 366 in 10 games. The Mets are the next closest. But the best part of this, I asked one of the clubhouse guys who's done the most damage on this particular trip. And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, you're going to like this. John Copolella."
Really?
He said that he has been consistently going in there every day, and I asked how he got it made, and he said he gets it with lettuce and tomato, but he said that it's been a true team effort for the Braves so far this season. He noted again Markakis and Freddie, but Coppy is the MVP of the series.
How funny.
Now, I have heard, as Julio delivers to Rupp out of play, I've heard of all kinds of cheesesteak combinations, with provolone, without, with the hot peppers, without, with onions. I've never heard lettuce and tomato.
No, don't think I have either.
That's...
Yeah, they said that today the really popular one was what they referred to as breakfast cheesesteak. So it's steak, egg, and cheese. That's what a lot of the guys were getting this morning. But he said lettuce and tomato for Coppy. He said that Markakis gets it with chicken and hot sauce, which he said is, they said that's actually pretty good.
Chicken cheesesteak, that makes a little sense. I got that.
But when he said lettuce and tomato,
no.
I said, that's just a hoagie.
To each his own.
Swing and a miss. Julio Tehran has set down 11 straight Phillies. That is his 7th strikeout in the game.
It's 11 straight and 15 of the last 16.
So payback and be aggressive with the fastball were your 4 keys. I think he's passed that with straight A's so far today.
No question.
Here's Florimon. He had a bloop double that scored the lone run.
You know, historically, he's pretty good in the second game of a doubleheader. Remember Coors Field.
Of course, today it's about 50 degrees warmer than that day in Denver. The coldest start to a major league game in history. The Braves played the Rockies 4 years ago or so. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike.
Good change up though. Good spot.
Barring unforeseen developments, Julio's next start for the Braves will be Monday when we start the homestand against Texas. And by that time, we'll have a whole host of new players on the roster when they can expand after September 1st.
Yeah, there might be some, depending on the end of seasons for some of the guys in the minor leagues that might get called up. It won't be until they have completed play.
Kim is on deck. Nobody's aboard for Pedro Florimon. Inside out at that ball into the Braves dugout. Baltimore 7, Seattle 6 in the 8th inning at Camden Yards. Cleveland 4, Yankees nothing in the 2nd inning in game 2 of their doubleheader. And a swing and a miss. That's 8 strikeouts for Tehran.
Wow.
Where's this been?
This is the guy that when I went up to him in Colorado, I said hi and introduced myself. And he started laughing and goes, yeah, where have I been? Two-seamer.
So 8 strikeouts for Tehran matches his season high. He's done it twice. Prior to today's game against the Phillies, he's ahead of Young-Soo Kim, who's 0 for 2.
You know, I owe the Phillies an apology. I said Monday night that they needed screens down to extend past the dugout and what have you. I couldn't see them, but there are some there on both sides.
Oh, you know what? They're lower.
Yeah, they
than
are.
The traditional backstop screen that we're used to seeing.
But I didn't notice it until that foul ball that Florimon hit.
1-2 pitch. Yeah, from our angle, they almost blend in perfectly with the top of the green railing. Can't really see them. There they are. One thing I've noticed about Freitas, he's not looking into the dugout for signs anymore. Looks like he's calling this game. And he's called a beauty. 1-2 pitch. And Julio's put the ball pretty much wherever David's wanted it.
Yeah, Julio's shaken him off a few times, but not that much, not that noticeable.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Smoke toward the gap in right center field. That ball is down. That ball is off the fence. Might be the hardest hit ball of the day by a Philly.
Absolutely. Shook off changeup, wanted the fastball, and tried to throw a two-seamer that backed up over the inside corner, but instead it had a lot of the plate. And this guy really bails, flies open, and smoked it.
And that's going to be all for Julio. Brian Snitker is going to come out and get him here with Blanco coming up. So Julio brilliant for 6 2/3 innings, retired 12 of the last 13 he faced and threw 109 pitches. Atlanta's into the bullpen for just the second time in the doubleheader, leading 3-1 late. For the Braves today, along with the magnificent afternoon by Ender Inciarte, Julio Tehran, 6 2/3 innings of 1 walk ball tonight. That was the first base runner of the game.
Right. Another good ball game. Backs up that outing against Colorado of 7 1/3 innings. A 5-hit 2-run ball. But boy, oh boy. 16 of the last 18 he faced, he set down. Sam Freeman on to pitch to Blanco to try to end this inning.
Sam has been a revelation in relief for the Braves. He's done an excellent job. Knock on wood, he hasn't allowed a run in August. The 9th longest active scoreless streak in the league. He's already thrown a career high in innings and is on pace for a career high mark of 9.5 strikeouts for every 9 innings he pitched. So he'll face Blanco here with a runner at second and 2 outs. He does represent the tying run at the plate. Good choice, strike 1.
Blanco hit into a double play, pinch hitting in the first game. That was the bat explosion double play.
Two straight off-speed pitches, and Blanco missed them both.
Yeah, Brian Snitker was really bragging on Sam Freeman at the beginning of this series, and what a revelation he's been to this ball club since joining them. And Brian was essentially saying that he has to guard against overusing him because he's been so good.
Well, that's the thing for a manager. If you give him toys, as some managers call effective relief pitchers, managers are going to want to play with them. And Freeman has been extremely reliable. And ahead of Blanco here, a ball and 2 strikes. And he just struck him out. And the peg to first is in plenty of time, and that will end the Phillies' 7th inning. Tehran gives up a run in 6 2/3 innings. That's one of today's big stories. Let's check back in with Rebecca Capel for the other in our Atlanta studios. this ball game with a full recap of the Double Dips events on Braves Live. Hopefully Atlanta can add a little insurance here in the 8th and 9th innings. They'll start the 8th with a 2-run lead for Julio Tehran, who's trying to win his 7th road game this year. Markakis, Swanson, Peterson, the first 3 coming up. And in a game like this, you look for little things that may make a big difference. One of the other stories we've talked about is Inciarte's got a chance to make history today for the Braves and pick up 9 hits in a doubleheader. The reason that that might happen is Holby Milner came in and hit Freddie Freeman with a pitch. When he reached, that brought up Matt Kemp, which means to go 1-2-3, 1-2-3 on the lineup card. That means Ender Inciarte is going to hit in the 9th inning. One ball, 1 strike for Markakis, who's pushed off the plate.
He's having a little trouble with that inside pitch to lefties. Almost nailed another one.
Down the left field line, and Kim will play that on a hop. Another opposite field hit for Nick Markakis.
He's so smart. He's been around. He's savvy. He knows how pitchers are going to work him. And after almost getting hit, at the risk of getting hit, he's sitting on something middle away. He knows Milner's not going to run the ball in on him again at the risk of hitting him. So he's looking for something away. Drives it down the line. He makes it look easy.
So 10 hits for the Braves in game 2. They had 15 hits in game 1. Dansby's 1 for 3 in the second game. He scored a couple of runs in game 1 and 2. Good spot. 2-2.
If you're thinking about, as a right-handed hitter, trying to take this ball to right field, take a pitch to right field, this guy likes to bury it in on you so deep. It's kind of hard to do that, kind of hard to inside out it.
So it's a full count. A minute or two past 6 o'clock here in Philly. And now Markakis leads at first, and Swanson takes another walk. So first and second, nobody out as the Braves try to add on here. They've got Jace Peterson coming up. He's 0 for 3. Let's see if he thinks about a bunt with nobody out. doesn't have a sacrifice bunt yet. And he pops that one up. Ball dropped. They're going to throw to second for one. They're going to throw to first for two. The runner goes to third. What a heads-up play by Blanco at third base. He let the bunt drop, and the Braves turn the double play, or the Phillies turn the double play, I think.
I'm not sure about this. Because I'm not sure that he tagged second base. I don't think Florimon touched second base.
Well, first of all, it could have been an infield fly. Ball was popped up, and with reasonable effort, the batter is supposed to be called out on that play. And because Blanco allowed the ball to drop, he could start the double play chance. Watch. Ball's in the air. First and second, nobody out. That could be infield fly. Now, you're right. He had the bag straddled. Maybe he didn't touch it. I think the question is here is, should that have been called an infield fly, which is the purpose of the rule, so you don't deceive the base runners that way.
Well, smart of Eddie Perez to get Dansby Swanson to come back to first base. No tag of the bag, 0. So now Jace is out on the throw to first, and for some reason Hoskins threw the ball to second. Well, the force is off now because they got the guy at first. Dansby went back to first base, which he can return to the bag. But Florimon messed up by not stepping on the base.
So let's see what the umpires decide here.
And he can stay.
So Pete McCannon's going to come out and ask for an explanation. Blanco tried to make a heads-up play and deke the Braves into a double play. Instead, the Phillies only get one because the one crucial element was somebody forgot to step on second base.
Second base umpire is Mark Ripperger. He's watching. Safe. Didn't step on the bag. Off the base. So instead of tagging Dansby, who's lying on the ground to keep from getting hit by the throw, they threw the ball to second base, where there was no force anymore.
So what a weird play. The Braves are going to have first and third, one out. Peterson's going to be out on a 5-4-3 fielder's choice, right? Or was it Florimon that handled?
Florimon.
Excuse me. It'll be a 5-6-3 fielder's choice. And because they didn't step on the bag, Swanson returns to first. He wasn't forced out.
And that's what Pete's waiting to find out now. If he might be making a pitching change, but he was also probably waiting for an appeal or a replay.
Brian Snitker's trying to get an explanation as well from Tom Hallion. So that could have been handled a couple of different ways. One could have been an infield fly. Either way, you'd have an out. Runners at first and second. But Blanco was too tricky by half, and Florimon forgot to touch the second base bag. So Atlanta gets a runner to third base on the very odd fielder's choice. They've got him first and third with one out and a new pitcher coming on. a sequence I've never seen before, and I was wrong. Checking the Major League Baseball rule book. Rule 2.00, an infield fly is a fair fly ball, not including a line drive or an attempted bunt. So the infield fly rule was in no way part of the discussion by the umpires. The discussion was whether or not Florimon touched the second base bag, and he didn't.
And Mark Ripperger was going to great detail with all the Phillies infielders, detailing what happened and why Dansby's safe at first.
So good job by the crew to get it right. Luis Garcia's on to face Matt Adams, who will come on and pinch hit. And Kurt Suzuki's going to grab a bat and hit for Sam Freeman and then stay in the game. And Adams didn't get it. Strike one. Told you in game one what great work Matt has done. 19 home runs this year. 18 of those have come with the Braves. The team record for a man acquired during the season for home runs in an Atlanta Brave uniform is 19, held by Fred McGriff.
Garcia pitched Monday night, gave up a hit, but nothing else. Keep some off-speed pitches away from Matt here. Prevent him from elevating anything that might deliver a sac fly. Chase Peterson, by the way, on that out was 5.64. That was Hernandez covering at first base, so that's how that out occurred.
And they gave him a sacrifice on that play.
Got the guy to third.
Yep. That explains it.
Yep.
What a crazy play. And a big second out as Adams strikes out. Now Kurt Suzuki, sore back and all, will hit for Sam Freeman.
Nice bit of pitching there by Garcia. A lot of split finger pitches that got Adams to whiff on 3 of them. Big run out there at second. Braves got a leadoff double in the 6th inning from Markakis. Couldn't get him in.
So first and third for Suzuki. Who was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning of game 1.
Just going to say, be ready if you're Nick at third base. They want to keep throwing that split finger pitch. One might get by Rupp.
One ball, no strikes. And out of play. Even count. Good cut. Bud 1-2. I'd love to see let me back up. I would love to see Suzuki reach here and load the bases and force the Phillies to pitch to Inciarte, who waits on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Garcia was on his way to the dugout. Thought that was strike 3. Now the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. All the way to the backstop, but a great ricochet right back to the catcher standing in the left-hand batter's box.
Oh, gone it.
But on the wild pitch, Swanson moves up to second base, and he stands there with 2 outs.
There is red brick back there, but again, it looked like the signage, maybe the frame of the sign, it came back. So here's that pitch you're talking about, Chip. Do they go for the out, or do they risk pitching to the guy who has 8 hits today?
We're about to find out.
You don't get to say that very often. It's kind of fun. Pitch to the guy who has 8 hits today.
A lot of guys will say that's a nice week.
Uh-huh. Oh boy, you're right.
Ender started at 301. He's at 310. A 9-point bump to his batting average.
Up to 172 hits.
Approaching 555 at bats. Ground ball hit towards short. Boromon charges and throws to first. Interesting 8th inning. Learn something new every day. The Phillies tried to trick the Braves. It worked out for them in the end. Atlanta fails to score but leads 3-1. September 4th and celebrate UGA night and get the one-of-a-kind co-branded UGA and Braves hat as part of the special ticket package. It's also former head coach and national champion Vince Dooley's 85th birthday. He'll be leading the first chop that night. If you're a Bulldogs fan, you're not going to want to miss it. Go to Braves.com/UGA and get this special ticket pack before it sells out. First glance, it looks a lot like Chris Medlin, doesn't it?
Yeah. How did he do his last start? Not a couple of nights ago?
Yeah. Check and see if it's in the notes. I think he got hit.
Kurt stays in the game to catch, and Jose Ramirez in his 58th game has established himself as one of the late inning setup men with good cause. Working the 8th tonight with a 2.36 ERA. Lefty's 122 because of that good changeup off his 97 gas.
Three earned runs, 25 strikeouts, 7 walks in his last 23 games. And in for a strike as the Phillies go to the top of the order. Hernandez, Galvis, and Williams in the 8th. Nice to have the lead, but a 2-run lead in this place makes you a little nervous.
One of those runners left at third bother you.
And the last thing you want to do is walk the top of the order. But that's exactly what Ramirez did. So trouble afoot in the 8th inning. A leadoff walk brings up Freddie Galvis. He's got the start in center field today.
If there's a number that you look at on Jose that is glaring and sticks out, especially in the situations he's brought into, first batters. Only retired 37 of 58.
Call there. There's that change. Even count. Pinto and Maris are the Phillies relievers. Pinto, the 26th man called up because of the doubleheader. Here is now pitching himself into a big-time mess. 3 balls and a strike. To center and right at Ender. He'll move into the shadows. And Galvis retired for the first out.
That was a tough read. That had a loud sound and it took off the bat. And Ender read it perfectly.
Nick Williams is the Phillies right fielder. He's 0 for 3. And 1 for 7 in the double dip.
Fast runner, tough to double up, but that would be ideal, and have Hoskins lead off the 9th with nobody on.
Not as sharp for Ramirez yet.
No, his first game in 4 days. Almost like he hasn't gotten his bearings yet. .98, rearing back and letting it go. That'll help.
Get a corner. 3 balls and a strike. Might have to get Vizcaino in the 8th.
He better hurry up.
Another walk.
This is exactly what the Phillies were hoping for. They hadn't had anything working today against Julio Tehran. but now, thanks to a couple of walks, they've got the guy they want up there with a chance to give them the lead.
With one swing. So Chuck Hernandez, a very slow walk. Vizcaino had just gotten up. He's made about 4 or 5 tosses from the bullpen mound. I think Carapazza is going to slowly walk out. As the Braves try to figure out a way to get Ramirez into the strike zone. So a walk, a fly out, another walk brings up Hoskins, who's 1 for 3. He's going to take a 12-game hit streak with him to Miami. He's hit 11 homers. Pitcher spot is next. Daniel Nava's on deck, and he has hurt the Braves with some big pinch hits this year. As Joe said, ideal world, you get Hoskins to roll over something and hit into a double play. Right there, a strike at 98.
Good pitch down and in. That's what happened his last time up, when Julio was able to get him to ground out to third on a good 2-seamer down and in.
Check swing roller. That's going to get the runners to second and third, but it's going to cost Hoskins an out. And 2 are out in the inning. Nava's coming up for Garcia.
I know that gets the tying run into scoring position, but you'll take that. Get that guy out.
This guy can hit a fastball.
And he likes that first one.
Good stop.
Nice stop on 98.
That saved a run. Nava 7 for 26 as a pinch hitter. And even more deadly from the left side. He's 6 out of 18.
What a play by Kurt.
That's a flare into the stands. No play, even count.
You have to respect Jose's fastball at 98 gas. And again, that's why left-handers' numbers aren't very good against him, because setting up for that, anticipating that, and getting the changeup at about 88, big difference maker.
Another good stop.
Wow. Saved a run with the first one, and he may have saved another one.
Two balls, one strike.
Anything hit on the ground, the infielders have got to do their dead level best to knock it down. One run might score, but if you knock it down, you keep the tying run at third. Nowhere near.
Ramirez walks, the bases loaded, and Brian Snitker is going to have to go bring on Vizcaino to finish up the 8th inning and then try to navigate his way through the 9th. So Ramirez has been so good this year, really struggled with his 8th inning command, 22 pitches and 3 walks. And the Phillies have the tying and winning runs on base with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the home 8th. Atlanta game. Thanks to 3 walks, the Phillies have loaded the bases with 2 outs. Cameron Rupp is coming up, and Arodys Vizcaino will have to work overtime if he's to earn save number 9 out of the Braves bullpen.
Right man in the right place. Cameron Rupp 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts against Vizcaino, and Arodys is anxious to get back out there because his last time out was that game against Colorado when he didn't retire a batter, gave up 3 runs, a couple of homers, so he wants to be in there, even in the 8th inning.
First pitch to Rupp is right under the letters and called a strike. Umpires in the crowd didn't like that call. Just what you like to see. He's ahead 0-2.
Well, and for Cameron Rupp, he got his 1 pitch to hit, hopefully, and missed it. Kicked his bat in disgust because he knows what a hard time he's had against Arodys. And at least for the next couple of pitches, liable to see a couple of good sliders.
So Vizcaino way ahead in the count. And that just missed.
Arodys fresh, certainly, after a few days off, and 99 on that pitch.
One-two count. Swing and a miss. Suzuki will pick it up. He'll step on the plate, and that is the inning. Philadelphia gets 3 walks, but Rupp strikes out with the bases loaded. That preserves a 3-1 Atlanta lead, and we go to the 9th, where Ender's coming up again. We go to the ninth inning, and that man is chasing some history, a share of a very difficult major league record to contemplate. Ender Inciarte has 8 hits in today's doubleheader. The Phillies have 12 combined hits in the first 2 games. And Inciarte 1 hit away from tying the record for most hits in a doubleheader, which is 9. He's 3 for 4 today. He was a perfect 5 for 5 in game 1.
Ricardo Pinto added to their roster for this doubleheader. Big ERA, 22 innings, 21 strikeouts though, a lot of hits allowed.
He's out of Venezuela and was the Phillies 2015 Paul Owens Award winner for the best pitcher in their minor leagues. First pitch swing and a fly ball to center. And Ender's dream of a 9th hit will rest in the glove of Freddie Galvis. What a day, though, for Inciarte. 8 hits in the 2 games.
What a day. 8 hits with some damage. 5 RBIs. 2 should have been 3 stolen bases.
So Ozzie Albies bats. He's 0 for 4 today in game 2. He was 2 for 5 in the first one. Stroke towards second. Nice knockdown try by Hernandez, but the ball didn't stick in his glove. So Ozzie has a base hit. And it comes with 1 out in front of Freddie Freeman.
He has 3 hits on the day. It's his first today in game 2, 1 for 5.
Strike 1 for Freeman.
Based on the batting averages against Pinto, I'm going to guess that his command hasn't been real good. Might make a mistake, and as a result, Ozzie will stay planted at first and give Freddie a chance. But good off-speed pitch there.
Nothing in 2 for Freddie. And into the 3rd deck. Braves have another doubleheader coming up in September. Got to make up a game in New York with the Mets. That's coming up on September 25th. That'll be the start of our final road trip. 4 in New York, 4 in Miami to wrap up regular season play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By that time, the Mets might have Matt Harvey back. They might have Syndergaard back.
Just in time.
Already got Familia back. One, 2. hammer down the left field line, but slicing. And the fans will chase down that souvenir. Another one hit toward left. This one is going to be kept fair. Here comes Ozzie around the third. And the batting helmet's flying. He is going to score as Freddie Freeman doubles home a huge insurance run.
Kept that one fair. Pinto got ahead in the count. Worked him away. Freddie hit one deep foul, and he got another one to slice the other way. When it came off the wall, Kim was ready for it to bounce straight back to him, and instead it kind of hugged the wall, and that gave Albies a chance for an extra base. And he scored easily. And he can move.
He sure can.
Big run there.
You bet. 3-run advantage for Atlanta now. And Matt Kemp's coming up. Matt's got 2 hits. And he pops one toward right. Pretty well hit, and a last-second grab by Williams hauls that drive in the sunshine in right field. Freeman tags and moves up to third. So Cameron Rupp's looking into the Phillies dugout. Do they want to pitch to Markakis, or do they want to put him on and go after Dansby Swanson? The answer is Dansby Swanson. So Nick will be on for a 4th time in the game. Phillies will intentionally walk him. Let's see if Dansby can make him pay. He's 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored.
Hoskins is going to hold him on at first. Hold Nick. Big hole over there for Dansby if he wants to, early in the count, look for something to shoot to right field. Dansby's had a great run here lately. Not just base hits, but a lot of walks too. He's been on base a lot. We showed you that graphic with an on-base percentage over 500 in recent days.
And with Jace Peterson not getting a lot of playing time lately, with Freitas making his big league debut, Dansby was the logical choice to hit behind Nick Markakis for Brian Snitker, the more veteran hitter, I would guess you could say.
And perhaps not wanting 3 left-handers in a row.
And Dansby bangs a single up the middle. So that brings home Freddie Freeman, and the Braves have tagged Pinto for a couple of runs in the 9th to make it a 5-1 game.
Gotta love these 2-out hits. Braves have had some today, especially in the first game, of course, when they scored 9 runs. But another good job here by Swanson. Right back where it came from. .43 RBIs.
That one's hit to center. Galvis drifts back. Jace Peterson and the Braves are done in the 9th inning, but the Bravos cash in 2 runs on 3 hits and take a 5-1 lead into the bottom of the 9th. 22nd, get your very own Bobby Cox replica statue presented by Coca-Cola. And that's free to the first 20,000 fans through the door. Braves.com/tickets, the place to go to get your seats today. So far in the doubleheader, the Braves have scored 14 runs on 28 hits. They've left 22 more men left on base. And have a chance to sweep the Phillies today thanks to an 8-for-9 day at the plate. Excuse me, 8-for-10 day at the plate by Ender Inciarte. Vizcaino's on to finish off the save. He came in a save situation in the 8th. And he's got the lower third for the Phillies. Floribon, Kim, and Blanco. Lane Adams has taken over for Matt Kemp in left field for the final inning. Ball one, strike one to the Phillies shortstop, who doubled home the lone Phillies run back in the 2nd. He's also struck out twice. Nationals shut out Miami 4-0. Tigers beat the Rockies 6-2. Milwaukee beat the Cardinals 6-5.
Detroit went out to Denver and won that series unless they have a carryover tomorrow. I think it was 2 out of 3.
On a play foul.
Freitas did a nice job last inning. No room for mistakes and got ahead of Rupp. Put him away.
Two pitch. Up and away, full count. Newcomb and Hendricks tomorrow at Wrigley Field, a night game. Then 3-day games, then back home Monday for another long homestand. And a swing and a miss. Florimon's down on strikes. Vizcaino's second of the game. There's the first out in the bottom of the 9th.
And he can afford to be as aggressive as he wants because of those extra runs there in the top of the inning. Get right after him.
Hyun-Soon Kim is 1 for 3.
Freitas only had to make 4 pitches last inning. The quicker this inning goes by, the better, in case he's needed tomorrow at Wrigley.
That caught a corner, 2-1. To center. Ender sprinting out by that wall. That ball is high off the fence and it ricochets back toward the middle of the center field pasture. Kim's around second and on his way to third, and that's where he'll stand with a 1-out triple.
He has crushed 2 balls this afternoon and neither one got out of the ballpark. One hit at the top of the fence in straightaway center, and that one hit up on that screen in deep left center. Breaking ball. Big, strong guy. Watch how high this one hit. Just missed getting out of here.
So Andres Blanco with a runner at third and one out will try to bring the Phillies a little closer. He struck out in his lone appearance back in the 7th. Fly ball right. Nick is there. He's got it. Runner tags, and the Braves will concede the run. It's a sacrifice fly for Blanco. The Phillies pull to within 3 runs. It's now a 5-2 game. So a double and a triple for Kim in a Game 2 start. Nice day for him. Hernandez the batter. Bookend walks for him in the 1st and 8th. He is struck out and flied out to center. Most of that work came against Julio Tehran, who was brilliant today in back-to-back starts. Last 14 innings for Julio, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 12 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Great work. Hopefully a sign of things to come in September.
And they'll have another chance to improve at home. He'll pitch, if the schedule stays in order, on Monday night. 0-2 for Cesar Hernandez, and up and away. Here comes the 1-2 pitch.
Finish him off. Don't want any thoughts that the Phillies might have of getting Hoskins up there representing the tying run again.
Foul at first. And Vizcaino's going to have to throw another one here. And that is your ball game. The Braves beat the Phillies 5-2 and sweep the doubleheader. Ender Inciarte with 8 hits in 2 games. Julio Tehran and R.A. Dickey were brilliant on the mound. And how about David Freitas, his first major league game, his first big league hit, and RBI too. And oh, by the way, he scored a run as well.
Great day all around. We sweep a doubleheader, especially in a team that's been wearing you out all year long. It's a good day. Now on to Wrigley,
where the Braves will play the Cubs in a 4-game series tomorrow night. First things first, we'll step aside, take a break, and recap the doubleheader sweep by the Braves in Philadelphia on Braves Live. That's coming up next.